Supernormal growth explained or solved, so to speak. What we're going to do now is we're going to look on how to solve the problem that I showed you on the PowerPoint. So this is the same data. You can go back to the other video, make sure that the data is the same, the problem is the same. So first thing that I told you we need to do is we need to have a required rate of return in order to proceed. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to calculate this rate, and it's going to be just like the CAPM tells me, the risk-free rate plus the return on the market minus the risk-free rate multiplied by the beta. So I get a 13% RS. Oops, I'm going to move this over here, even though it doesn't really matter where I put it. RS equal that number. Second thing I need to do now is I'll start laying down my dividends. So I have here a timeline with dividends all the way to dividend 6, but this could be actually dividend 7, 8, or 9. It doesn't really matter. All we know is that we have dividend number 1, dividend number 0, I'm sorry, that is $2, right? I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can see it. And we know that the dividend is going to grow from 0 to 1 at a rate of 30%. This is part of the what information we're given. So I know that dividend 1 is going to be that times 1 plus this rate of growth, right? And I'm going to anchor this because I'm going to move the formula in a little bit so you'll see. And I want to anchor it on the column. So this is going to be true for 3 years, for year 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to change the format of this to make it look better. And you'll see that the formulas are the one previous times the 30%. Dividend 4 is going to grow at a rate of 6% times 1 plus the rate of 6%. At this point, I don't need to keep going because I know that the rate is constant and I can the formula contracts or converges to the constant formula. So I could calculate actually the price at time 3. So I'm going to write that down. P3 is going to be what? P3 is going to be D4 divided by R minus G. Go back to your formulas and make sure that what I'm saying makes sense to you. And I do get a price of 66.53. So I have P3. What else is an investor going to get? An investor is going to get this dividend 3, this dividend 2, this dividend 1, and this dividend 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put those green, and I'm going to put this number here green. And actually, I'm going to move this whole thing so we'll know that these two amounts are in the same time. This I'm going to put in red because this already passed. If I buy this share, I'm not going to get this money because it already passed. So I need to calculate the present value of dividend 1. And that is going to be PV, what rate? 13% How many periods? 1. What's the payment? 0, because there's no payment in between. Of what future value? $2.60. And I'm going to put this negative just to get all the numbers positive in the end. I'm going to close parentheses here, and I get $2.30. Then I'm going to need to calculate the present value of dividend 2. And this is going to be PV of what? The rate is the 13%. The number of periods now is 2. And there's no payment of a future value of what? This number here. Again, I'm going to make it negative. And I get 2.65. Now I'm going to get the present value of the dividend of year 3, which is going to be PV, you guessed it, 13%, 3 periods, no payment, and I'm going to put the minus right away, dividend 3, the G15 in this case. And finally, I want to get the present value of P3 of the price that I would get if I sell this in time 0. And this should be PV, rate is 13%, comma, 3 periods, comma, 0 payment, comma, a future value of 66 that I need to put negative, close parentheses now, and I get this 46.11. Price at time 0 is nothing but the summation of the dividend 1, the dividend 2, dividend 3, the price at 3 expressed in dollars of time 0. I hope you have seen what I've done in this video. Take your time, pause it, rewind it, make sure that you can do the same thing in your Excel